Video from FBE Capital, older women dropping devastating truth bombs on modern dating.
It's been almost 4 years since I completely uprooted my life.
It's about being older and being single and not having children.
Because I don't even have a person to get pregnant with.
A few weeks ago, I suffered a mild heart attack. I didn't think I was going to make it, and it was just disheartening to not have anybody there.
Yeah, we made it to the end and it didn't happen.
50 years old and you still can't figure out that your eyebrows shouldn't look like that.
There.
Yeah, we made it to the end and it didn't happen.
Sure, I could go get pregnant on my own or like get a donor, but I don't want that. I want to have a baby with the person that I love.
I wish women really understood nowadays how horrible we present ourselves.
Here's something men need to understand about women over 50. We don't care about you.
Honestly, a lot of women treat men like trash. And I will be 42 in a month.
I am 50 years old. So I'm 46 years old. And men my age just don't seem to like me.
Like, it is rough.
I just feel incredibly lonely.
There are a lot of women 5, 10 years post-divorce that I've spoken to that have told me, I regret leaving him. I regret breaking up with him.
Every time I hear a woman complain about her baby daddy, in particular black women that complain about her baby daddy, the first thing I say is, you chose him. You chose him.
And you might be saying, well, you chose this, so, you make your bed. And I get it. I did choose it.
I'm just questioning life. And I'm just wondering if anybody else feels like they've made all the wrong decisions in life.
I don't have space to show up as the best mum that I can show up as. I'm less nurturing. I'm less accepting. I'm less patient.
Nobody wants to hear this because what you want me to say today is actually being a single mother is totally possible. It actually isn't. It's not. It was never meant to happen for the human race, number one.
I felt I had been kind of lied to by the culture. The idea that I could fuck my way to empowerment. This idea that, you can sleep your way.
Well, the thing is, like I was looking into it the other day, China has a very similar divorce rate that America does. It's about 50%. And, surprise, surprise, women also initiate the divorces about 70% of the time in China. But however, one thing they know is that it's not good to raise a child with one parent. So oftentimes when they get divorced, they will have their other family members live with them, or maybe they're already living together. And it's kind of to go on the back of what this woman said, and it's that being a single mother and raising a child on your own, it's never meant to be that way. And it's just like, it seems like in America, again, it's like political correctness. We don't want to offend the ladies. We don't want to offend the woman and insinuate, you can't do it all on your own, because we have to treat them like little kids, and we kind of scared to tell them the truth because we don't know how they're going to react. No, you can't do it all on your own. No, you shouldn't. No, don't do that, because if you do, hey, look at these stats over here. That kid's probably not going to turn out that great. I don't know. And I mean, shit, you really want to offend the people? Tell them that single fathers actually produce kind of the same humans that two-parent households do. So is it really a single parent issue, or is it a single mother issue? That's up for discussion, or is it? So yeah, I mean, even in countries that have a similar divorce rate, these people know that it's not good to raise children single parent homes.
Actually isn't. It's not. It was never meant to happen for the human race, number one.
I felt I had been kind of lied to by the culture. The idea that I could fuck my way to empowerment. This idea that, you can sleep your way to feeling like a girl boss.
The boss bitch.
Yeah, and women will get older and they'll say, oh, I was lied to. I bought into the bullshit. But the thing is, if someone tried to tell you the truth when you were younger, you wouldn't have tolerated it. You probably would have called him a bigot. Probably would have called him a misogynist, would have went to HR. Oh, John over here is trying to tell me about the truth of feminism and how it's a lie. And I don't like the way it made me feel. So I'm going to get him fired. Or, I don't like this guy. He comes off as a toxic toxic man. You know, I don't want to date him. So it's just like, you can say this as you get older. Oh, I was lied to. Yeah, I mean, if someone tried to tell you the truth, you wouldn't have handled it well. So it's like, it's kind of what I was saying. We can't really tell them the truth because we don't know how they're going to respond. They're going to get all upset and triggered. They're too sensitive in a way. It's like they're not grounded in reality, you know, and that is an unattractive trait they have.
Once you have, as a woman, you have children.
It's like almost even like being a vegetarian in a way is kind of like you're not grounded in reality with the rest of us, because they have this like superficial empathy for like animals and, oh, we don't want to harm them. And it's very first world. It's not grounded in reality. Whereas you have women from other countries who don't really adopt this like superficial empathy for animals. They're like, no, we kill animal, we eat it, I cook, feed the family. But here in the West, it's just, I don't really like it. I don't like the fake empathy. They're not grounded in reality, privileged mindset, privileged first world mindset, rejecting traditional anything, feminism, egalitarianism, politically correct, don't hurt the animals, climate change. Ugh.
Life is like, yeah, work is important. It's not my main focus. When I'm on my deathbed, I'm not going to go, I'm happy I worked a ton. It's not, it doesn't carry as much weight.
My health has failed me, and who's going to be there for me?
Yes guys, the truth truly hurts when talking about older women revealing their true dating experiences instead of the feminist propaganda plastered all over social media.
Good morning everyone. So I haven't done an update in a bit on the dating in your 50s. So much fun. I'm having such a fun time.
So then you tell yourself, you know, it's okay, I'm strong, I'm happy, I'm doing fine.
Yeah, right. Please drop a like on the video if you think that people that are constantly screaming at you about how happy they are probably lying. And comment down below what you think. Currently, social media is flooded with women claiming it's wonderful to be old and single because it aligns with the narrative of women not needing men. But when you ask real women that don't want to sell you a course or some dating consultancy service on how life actually is, then they would tell you a completely different story.
This whole dating thing, especially at my age, over 50, is just bullshit.
I wonder if I have lost the ability to connect, you know, having been single a long time, dated a lot, like, have I lost that ability?
So when women hit 30 and they're like, oh, I'm not married, I don't have kids, they definitely go through this panic.
It's hard to get a guy to even get to the point of actually going on a date or meeting for the first time.
You see, I already proved this massive discrepancy between the false narrative and the real-world experience when it comes to women getting older and continuing to date in my Age of Desperation video linked up here, where I went into the lies of egg freezing. When you ignore the social media hype and just look at the actual numbers, things start to look a lot more depressing, and women are not freezing their fertility at all.
I really thought this process would like slow down my biological clock and I wouldn't feel as much pressure. And I feel way more pressure now.
And now we are seeing real-world proof of this from Coco Beauty, where she had a complete mental breakdown when she tried to go freeze her eggs and found out that she's close to being infertile and that it might never work.
I've been like crying the entire day. And you know, people say like, oh, you're not alone, this happens to so many women, but I mean, it feels very alone, lonely.
You see, she's yet another victim of the feminist propaganda machine that she herself is actually guilty of participating in. And so now in this video, we're going in deeper, starting with first, the hypocrisy and lies of older women contradicting themselves, then following up with the problems of older women dating younger men, and finishing with the grand finale of older women creating single mothers out of their own daughters to then blame the whole disaster on, of course, men. Classic. So first up is this lovely lady who is a certified jaded man-hater, and this becomes very clear very quickly when you listen to her talking about older men dating younger women.
The only kind of men that date and marry women that are substantially younger than them
are the men who can.
Insecure men. These are men that
want to exploit women, that want to dominate women.
Okay, so clearly older men dating younger women is bad, that's her stance, right? Now let's see what she thinks about older women dating younger men.
Let's talk about older women who date younger men. And I am one of them.
This woman makes a whole video vilifying men that date younger women, but it turns out she's doing the exact same thing.
That's funny.
But I'm not surprised, because like I showed in my Passport Bro series, linked up here, it is these types of Western women who constantly complain about men and their dating preferences, but end up being massive hypocrites since they do the exact same thing.
Passport Brain movement is more American male toxicity.
That made me decide to go to Italy today.
If you've ever been to the Balkans, you know what I'm talking about, and it's all men. But yeah, you can't really expect that type of chivalry that I have found in other countries.
But it gets better when you listen to why she's doing it.
I do that for two reasons. Number one, physical. It's basic principles of attraction.
Yeah, no shit, lady. That's what men say. Younger women are hot. It's not rocket science. But somehow when men say this and date younger women, it's a problem and it's called exploitation. It's simply ridiculous. Now moving on to the 40-something party girl from Vegas who constantly switches between being okay and having a mental breakdown.
Why? Because I've been her.
So to set the scene here, she's in her 40s and she only dates younger men, which she really wants to make clear.
I'm dating a 24-year-old.
She gets piped by younger men.
And I'm 41.
I prefer to date younger men. I date younger men pretty much exclusively.
Okay, so we get it. She only dates younger men. So how is that working out?
Men are cowards. Men will meet the woman of their dreams.
Oh.
But because they're not willing to live up to her light or her standard or her whatever they perceive it to be.
Wow.
They will take advantage, they'll destroy her.
Was there really any other outcome here? I mean, let's face it, every single time we see a woman so adamant and so angry
What I want to know is, why do you care?
about how wonderful her life is and explaining to you that she's perfectly fine, then clearly that is not the case. But anyways, it's about to get a lot worse since, remember, she thinks that men are cowards for not committing to a woman and she does not want to play games.
I thought at this point he was done with these games.
Except, this is the same woman who was considering marrying a guy while she was already dating another guy for almost 2 years.
And Beau, who I've been dating since July of 2022, is almost 18 years younger than me, okay?
So 2 weeks ago, on my birthday, I was proposed to by somebody that I've known since 9th grade.
Are you kidding me? So this woman talks about men playing games, is in a 2-year relationship.
We are still dating, I don't know what to tell you. We like each other. He's kind. He doesn't shut down and tell me that I'm crazy.
Oh, she's so damaged. You are. Oh no, you are crazy. These women that FBE Capital is putting on in this video, they're so immature. You can tell, and it's just like, wow, just showing that. Do they really mature that much, or do they even perhaps get a little bit more cuckoo as they get older? You know,
My own age.
When she gets proposed to by another man and she's seriously considering it.
Because my initial response was going to be like, okay, we can talk about this. We can negotiate our way into this, you know? He's a gorgeous man. He's a successful man. I care about this man.
Now mind you, this is not the 1950s anymore, and men are not just walking around proposing to every single woman. So you know a lot of went down before that dude was even considering a proposal. Plus, he actually believed she might say yes, which is what she was actually considering.
It caught me off guard, even though I kind of had a sense it was coming. I still wasn't like...
I think the eyebrows often give it away. There's a certain type of style that these women have when it comes to their eyebrows, and then them also being crazy.
Prepared. And so I told him, I was like, I really need to think about this. This is a really big deal.
This is why, guys, I and almost every creator in this space constantly says that marriage is dead. I made a video on divorce linked up here, showing how insanely biased the family courts are, and if you marry a woman like this, I guarantee you will experience that firsthand. Now obviously, this woman is broken beyond belief, but to prove that it wasn't men who broke her, I'll let her explain how this happened.
So here's the thing. I was raised by a mother who didn't want me. And so she spent my entire developmental years, like I'm gonna try and say this without crying, letting me know that she didn't want me, that I was a burden to do things on my own. Like, she just, very dismissive of my entire existence. So I grew up with a belief system that nobody wanted me. That internal belief system has a way of rearing its ugly head. In fact, like, I was suicidal by the time I was 9.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. However, it is a great segue into our final and most disastrous situation of how older women are setting up their own daughters for failure in both dating and life in general. Because this Karen, yep, her name is actually Karen, has a truly gorgeous daughter who seems very lovely and wholesome. And so you might think, hey, perfect wifey material, right? Well, hold on, because before you guys go off and find a woman just like this, let me remind you of something that Patrick Bet-David once said that really resonated with me since I actually lived this experience.
Who are the 5 friends you call after we have a terrible fight? So she gives me the names. Divorce. How about this one? Divorce. How about this one? Single. How about this one? Married. How about this one? Single. I said, you calling these guys? I said, you call these 5 people, guess who they're gonna defend? She said, who? I said, you.
Yes guys, I can't stress this enough. Before you commit to a woman, be really careful who her closest advisors are, since that will be your biggest problem going forward. And so when your girlfriend's mother is her bestie, who she runs to for advice, and that mother is batshit crazy or a jaded man-hater on a quest to find herself,
I am back.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of women, young women, look up to their mothers massively, and they actually really, really enjoy mirroring their mothers and being like them. I think that's just pretty natural with humans, and I think, you know, maybe men do it as well. They like to be like their fathers, but personally, one thing I definitely have noticed with the women that I've dated and seen, a lot of times they really, really look up to their mothers. And depending on their mother's behaviors and traits, these women like to emulate it and mirror them. So a good way to know how a woman is going to behave is if you look at her mother. Ask this girl about her mother. Does she come from a 2-parent household? Does her mother like her father, her husband, right? Does she treat her husband well? Does she clean a lot? Does she cook a lot? You know, so that's one thing you can pretty much bank on, is that women love to mirror their mothers so long as they respect them and love them. And they want to be like their mothers a lot of times. And so to understand a woman, you can oftentimes look at her mother. I've personally noticed.
Back on here, back in the UK, and back to being the me before the trauma.
Then yeah, you're going to have a horrible time. Now, as with everything in life, you will always find someone doing it bigger and better, and so when it comes to terrible mom advice and guidance, Beth here really takes the cake.
A lot of men over 50 said that they wanted much younger women. However, with years comes age, but also maturity.
Because while Beth was making over 1,000 TikToks instead of providing her daughter with solid advice and guidance, little Brenna over here was getting pumped and dumped raw at Northern University, Illinois, which obviously led to the one and only possible outcome: boom, big ol' belly. Now if you're thinking, well, maybe she met a nice guy, she fell in love, and they're going to form this nice little family and raise a bunch of kids, no. This dude wants nothing to do with her or the kid.
Wow, my God, dude. Realizing my daughter's first heartbreak will be her father is one of the hardest parts of being a single mom with a man who wants nothing to do with his child. I was thinking the other day, I think, a couple days ago, and I kind of came to the conclusion that a lot of times these women who are like popular, or maybe not even popular, but they're social, extroverted girls who like to go out, a lot of times, you know, this takes place, they start going out in high school and in college, and these are sort of formative years for women. And one thing I was thinking is that when these women start going out and being extroverted and social and going to parties, a lot of times they're going to be exposed to like hip hop music and the culture that comes with it. And it's like those parties and stuff, they start to engage in degeneracy and they start to engage in like degeneracy. They start to emulate the type of music they hear. They start to speak like the people in the music that they hear. So a lot of it, I think, is the more like extroverted and popular and social girl, the more she goes out to parties. I think not only does she obviously engage in promiscuity and degeneracy, I think it actually erodes her femininity. Because these women, you start to hear them speak, you know, these sorority girls, and also a lot of them are going to be more prone to be feminists because of the sisterhood foundation they have, and then also encouraging each other to engage in promiscuity and degeneracy and dancing and drinking, which is female liberation nowadays. This is what female liberation is exploring your sexuality, partying, living out these party years. That in a way is a lot of like what feminism is about, right? It's like sexual liberation, female liberation. Let's get our hands dirty. Let's engage in this. Let's try this. Let's smoke this. Let's drink this. Let's fuck this. Let's dance to this. Let's speak like this. Let's curse like this. So it's like these types of women who are exposed to partying and hip hop culture and all this. Not only does it like, you know, make them 304s, I think it really erodes their femininity. Whereas the women who maybe are more introverted, they don't really go out and party. They don't even really listen to hip hop music like that. They're more focused on like their studies and getting good grades, and also being raised in a 2-parent household and having a mother that obviously they want to mirror, but that mother being, well, high value, that mother being someone that, you know, nurtures the family, respects her husband. These types of women are going to actually not only be less promiscuous, they're going to have more femininity because they preserved their innocence, and it wasn't eroded by this female liberation, which is really just promiscuity, drinking, smoking, cursing, twerking. Don't need no man, and a strong, independent boss, babe. And shit, even the women who like pursue nerdy degrees like STEM, like nerdy girls are, I would say, more likely to be wifey material than like these like really attractive, not even attractive, but like extroverted social girls. So, and a lot of times you'll also notice that the more extroverted a woman is, the more of a pole rider she is.
Allegedly, because we can't really trust new mommies crying on TikTok, since we all remember Cake Mom.
I'm her ex-husband, and right now I have full custody of our kids. As you can see, I have all weekdays and weekends. And for her to get any rights back to the kids, these are the things that she needs to do. And yes, child support, she owes that. It's up to over $21,000, so.
Yeah, that got debunked real quick. But yeah, if true, Brenna got herself knocked up by some deadbeat who doesn't care about her at all and doesn't want anything to do with her child. Now,
she's just living out that female liberation.
I will always say, if it is your kid, take care of it fully. I mean, definitely get a paternity test, perhaps even 2, just to make sure. But if it is your baby, take care of the little fucker. Come on, it is your own flesh and blood. That means something. However, this is another classic case of a guy who clearly did not give a damn about a girl, and the girl still letting him hit it raw, creating yet another young single mother who's going to blame men for all her struggles. Because Beth over here was too busy focusing on her own dating profile and lecturing us on all the things that men do wrong. Great job, Beth. This was all the women dropping truth bombs on modern dating. Please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos.
Yep, good video from FBE Capital. So if you enjoyed that, leave a subscription. Let me move this back down. Leave a subscription and a like And then also check out some of my other videos for sure. And I'll see you later.